So our next speaker is Dr. Barbara Doty. Dr. Doty is a native of Washington State, and she completed her first year of medical school in Fairbanks. She actually did an exchange with an Alaskan student who was in Seattle, and she came up to Fairbanks to do her first year of medical school. She's been practicing in the state of Alaska in obstetrics and family medicine since 1985. In 1997, she was awarded the Family Medicine Doctor of the Year, and currently she is the Assistant Clinical Dean of the Alaska WWAMI program of the University of Washington School of Medicine. Please join me in welcoming Dr. Doty to the stage.
Is an easy act to follow from a microphone point of view. Welcome and congratulations. What an incredible accomplishment to have gone through the MEDEX Northwest and University of Alaska collaborative training program. And it really truly is collaborative. I have practiced side by side with graduates of the PA program of MEDEX Northwest. I have been a University of Washington School of Medicine faculty member for over 25 years. And I am so impressed with the quality and caliber of our graduates. You should be proud to have accomplished what you have accomplished in getting through the curriculum and maintaining your sanity and your work-life balance, even though it may not feel like that's what you've done. I want to speak briefly about the idea of collaboration for Alaska's workforce and our healthcare workforce. Alaska is a young place. We have a lot of areas of need, and healthcare is by far one of the top areas that we have a need for training. And what a wonderful collaboration it has been with the University of Washington School of Medicine, the MEDEX Northwest program, University of Alaska, both Anchorage and Fairbanks, to be able to develop high-quality clinicians for our state. And our PA program is renowned throughout the world if you look at how long we've been going. Our 50th class at MEDEX Northwest is graduating in Seattle this year. Although this is the 8th class in Anchorage, very shortly after the MEDEX Northwest program developed, Alaskan students were admitted and have been admitted ever since. And as we've grown, we've brought the program up here in Anchorage, where as we've matured our resources for teaching, and now we're graduating an excellent class that is competent and resilient and capable of working in all activities in all places across the state, whether that's a rural spot outside of Bethel or whether that's an orthopedic surgeon's office in the Mat-Su Valley. I have the opportunity last week to run across a graduate of this program who has been practicing for the last 5 years, and he's very much appreciated by his colleagues for his expertise and his well-trained and compassionate point of view. So family, friends, and graduates, you should all be proud of being able to accomplish this goal of finishing your PA training and being a resource for the care and well-being of Alaskans across the state. So thank you and congratulations.
Well, there you all are, ready to go. Well, good morning, everyone. I'd like to thank you for joining us today at this life-changing episode in the life of your graduates. I am honored to be asked to speak to you today as you all graduate from Class 8. I will keep my comments short because I know walking across this stage and moving into the next chapter of your life is paramount today. Each of you have learned science, the science of medicine. However, the practice of medicine is an art. And like many artists, it may take a lifetime to perfect it. Within the lifetime, you will become part of a patient's life story. And I have the honor of becoming part of your life stories. Catherine, Christina, Ashley, Maggie, Scott, Dana, Ted, Christopher, Cynthia, Monica, Megan, Leah, Benjamin, Paola, Sarah, and Christina Ivy, Michaela, JJ, Rich, and Stephanie's. And they've become part of my life story. And I must not forget someone who was vital in my being able to survive up here, which is Holly. Each of you walked with me into your classroom, and I want to thank you publicly because after graduation, I will not be able to probably not to see each of you individually. And a side thought, and it's already been said, maybe I got along with Class 8 because I graduated in Class 8 like a long time, back in the last century. Each of your life stories have impacted my life. They are rich, they are unique, and they are yours. Each of you upholds the mission of MEDEX, and we are very proud of that. And we are very proud to call you colleagues. You have learned what medications to prescribe for specific conditions. You have learned new critical thinking skills to assist you in your ability to diagnose many conditions. And you now process information way different than when you were in the selection conference. But most important tool that you have when you practice the art of medicine are your words. I've said this before, and I will say it again. The majority of the time, your words may well change the person's life story. They will not forget the words you used, and you may never take them back. You may diagnose hypertension 3 or 4 times a day, or 3 or 4 times a month. And for you, it's common, but for the patients, the very first time they've heard it, and they're going to have to change their lives, their behaviors, or the same with diabetes. A lot of the common conditions that you're going to diagnose and treat, it will be the very first time the patient hears it. That's the first, it's not for you, you've been doing it all day or all month. So choose your words carefully. And they show that the patients that you care for and that you give them strength as you work with them. For me, these are my final words to share with Alaska Class 8. Be well, enjoy the rest of your life as a PA. Your effect on the people you serve will be immeasurable, and I thank you all for what you've done and what you will do.
Society officers for Anchorage Class 8. So when I say your name, please stand. And this does give me an opportunity to explain that in true Alaskan fashion, one of our Anchorage Class 8 graduates is actually not here with us because she's weathered in to some remote hunting location. We've been in touch with her by satellite phone and she sends her regrets. And that is Maggie Churchill, who was one of 3 social directors, if that tells you anything about Class 8. So again, please stand when I say your name. The Class 8 officers who were not weathered in: Leah Henry Waugh and Sarah Langford, social directors. And not to be difficult, but let's hold our class till they're all standing and then just let loose. Diversity Committee Representative Jonathan Tower. External Affairs, Micah Endress. The Student Academy of the American Academy of PA's House of Delegates Representative Ashley Bodie. The Student Academy of the American Academy Assembly of Representatives Stephanie Wittine. Alaska Academy of Physician Assistants Representative Michaela Stewart. Treasurer Christina Lee. Historian Paola Kine. Secretary Catherine Alvarez, Vice President Dana Deku, and last but not least, President Scott Cooper. Please give a round of applause to the former leaders. You guys may be seated. And now our Class 8 speaker. He never ran for a position with the Student Society, but has nonetheless become an informal leader among his peers. Please welcome to the stage, Christopher Dunaway.
To provide the Stephen Turnipseed Award to Veterans for Service to Country, Class, and Community. Stephen Turnipseed was a graduate of Class 1 in MEDEX in Seattle. He was a Special Forces medic and served in Vietnam. And right from the get-go, he was a leader as a PA student, as a physician assistant. He was a mentor to me. He was one of my preceptors. And he's really left a legacy in the PA world, not just here for MEDEX, but around the country. So this award recognizes a MEDEX student who's a military veteran for demonstrating outstanding leadership within the MEDEX class and exceptionally meritorious service within the local community. This award will be presented only at the didactic sites and in years when the faculty identify an appropriate recipient. So it's not necessarily a recurring event. Ashley Bowden. It's our pleasure to make this award for you. So I'm just going to brag a little bit. So Ashley was a Navy corpsman. We have something in common. She probably didn't know I went to Navy Corps School. But I wasn't quite as prestigious as all the things you did. I had a chance to go through some of her awards here for somebody who was in a relatively short time. Ashley was awarded the National Defense Service Medal, the Global War on Terrorism Service Medal, the Navy Pistol Marksmanship Medal, the Navy Good Conduct Medal, the Navy and Marine Corps Achievement Medals ×2, the Enlisted Service Warfare Specialist insignia, the Enlisted Aviation Warfare Specialist insignia, Sea Service Deployment Ribbons ×2, the Navy Unit Commendation, the Navy and Marine Corps Overseas Ribbons. That's quite impressive. Especially in the As a corpsman in the Navy, Ashley took a greater responsibility than many other medical care providers, especially amongst the enlisted ranks. She assisted surgery for wounded warriors returning from the Middle East. She was head of surgical assistance at OB/GYN surgeries at Walter Reed National Military Medical Center. And she ran both the surgical suite and emergency room while serving on board the USS George Washington. Again, very incredible experiences. I want to say thank you for your service and congratulations.
A quick minute to introduce the faculty members who are not speaking and presenting today. So we have two part-time faculty members that are with us. We have Brian Pierce, who is going to be handing out the awards as you've seen. Graduate of Anchorage Class 6. And then we have Rosa Borders, who's a physician who's with us. Oh, Class 5, sorry. 7. Gosh, I'm sorry, guys, sorry. And then we have Rosa Borders. Rosa, are you here? If you'll please stand. So Rosa is a physician. She's a And then finally, I'd like to welcome to the stage a woman that you've heard a lot about prior to now, and she's going to be awarding the student awards, and that is Dr. Holly Imlock, our didactic coordinator.
I'm proud to present this year's writing award to Sarah Langford.
There's hugs off stage too.
All right, one more, we're almost done. So the last award that I have the privilege to present today is the Spirit of MEDEX Award. And I haven't really been with MEDEX that long. I started with you guys, basically. Sorry about that. But Gino, who you've had the opportunity to meet, and Tim Evans, who unfortunately could not be with us today, the two of them together, time at MEDEX, conservative estimate, 87 gajillion years? Sure, give or take. I adore both of these gentlemen, and the two of them are always going on and on about how MEDEX is family, MEDEX is family. We've heard it discussed already today. So when I think about spirit of MEDEX, I'm always drawn back to that, to family. Couldn't we all use a family member who is where they say they're going to be when they say they're going to be there? And does what they say they're going to do when they say they're going to do it? Someone who is kind and thoughtful, with a wicked sense of humor, an amazing vocabulary, which is a huge compliment for me, and a love of hockey that surpasses even my genetically induced own. Someone who gives more than they take. Someone who just doesn't look out for themselves, but looks out for other people. Someone who knows the difference between wanting to help and being helpful, and never fails in that task. That is family. That is the spirit of MEDEX. And that is the recipient of this year's award, Ben Johnson.